Welcome. Today we have a very special guest with us, James Rogers from Keller Williams. Thankful to have you. Welcome to another episode of Kingdom Business Conversations. Today we have with us a very good friend of mine, James Rogers with Keller Williams. Excited to have you, brother.
Hey, buddy.
So really, I'm going to start you off probably a question that I've actually not asked anybody up until this point, but it was actually the question I kind of felt.
Okay.
It's like, who is James Rogers?
Let's see. I think when I'm describing myself to people, I usually start with, we have a bunch of kids. We got 5 little kids from 12 down to 3. And been married for about 13 years, and so that's the most important thing to me day to day. Love Jesus, follow him the best I can, and then just work hard. I get to help people with real estate. That's the majority of my life right now. Do other fun stuff here and there, but I guess that's what I do though. So who is James? I don't know. You could poke me harder if you want.
I think that kind of sums it up, though. So, like, what I got out of that is James Rogers. He's a father.
Yeah.
He's a husband.
Yeah.
And he loves Jesus.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very good job. Knowing you as well as I do, I'd say that's a pretty accurate description. Awesome. We actually have 2 12-year-old daughters that are, pretty much like best friends. So
had to pull them apart last night.
Yes, we had to pull them apart last night. They were at the motion. So, and said everybody there asked them if they're sisters because they are
nice.
Like the exact same height, the exact same size.
Exact same, just beautiful 12-year-old.
Yes. But now, another question for you, James. Just kind of we really like to get to help people, right? So we want to help people like in business. Like this has actually been super helpful for us doing this podcast. But what is the biggest thing you've overcome being, for doing real estate as long as you are? And I know that you had, you really had quite a few people working under you at one point. Just what is the biggest thing you say you've overcome?
Oh, man. The first thing that comes into my mind is the ability to, you have to fight definitely at the beginning of your career, if you're self-employed, especially commission-based, like you have to fight to not always be like working for money, if that makes sense, because you have to pay your bills and feed people. And every conversation you have, every bit of work that you do is you're hoping that this is providing for the near future, but at the same time you can't be a fiduciary, consultant, advisor, and have your client's best interest at the forefront if you're always thinking about getting paid and providing for your own family. So it's very it's not counterproductive, but it is a real exercise of your intention and your priorities in the little things that you do to say, I am happy to not get paid or for this not to work out, because whatever is best for the person I'm serving is my goal. So and especially when you're still not doing great financially, things are tight and things are tough, you have to battle to not put yourself first and trust that that's going to work out in the long run. So what I've overcome, I think just the temptation to work for money and to actually try and serve people for what is best where they're at in their life. Yeah.
I love that, man. And I want to actually ask you about your hat too, because I think I know the story behind it, but I think a big part of who I know James to be, and I know it's something that's a really it's a newer thing for you guys, but I think it's really awesome, just even kind of what I've seen it do like in your marriage, and have like a combined goal between you and your wife. So just share on the hat.
Well, the hat is simply playing off of my brand, which is I'm Mr. Rogers. Now, I realized recently that fewer and fewer people are gonna even know what I'm talking about.
They
don't understand why I do my How's the Market video in a red sweater. They just think I'm randomly wearing a red sweater. So I'm trying to come to peace with that. But so be a good neighbor has been like the tag, and I like it because that's Jesus. That's saying like what really matters in life, and it's how you treat the people around you, how you treat the most vulnerable. So that makes sense. This hat, I sold a bunch of them, and I still have like 30 left as kind of a fundraiser to support our friends in Eastern India, who this specific project was putting a roof over what they're calling a women's empowerment center. It's the second story above an orphanage. There's about 40 kids living there from age 4 to 16, and they're building a second story, and it's called a Women's Empowerment Center. It's a place for vulnerable women to go and receive pre- and postpartum care and have delivery, as well as to receive skills training, like life skills, to start a vocation if they like, and just a safe place in that society. They oftentimes don't have a safe place, and the consequences can be really bad. We sold these. There was like $50 for a hat, and they're very nice hats. But some people paid a lot of money for these hats, and we were able to like completely fund the second story roof of this amazing place that our friends are working hard in. So it was a thrilling opportunity to work on my business a little bit and network and make connections, but to fund and empower this amazing work being done by our good friends. And so that's the hat.
Yeah. I have one of the hats too. I actually like it. Yeah, you've seen me wear it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
one of my current favorite hats that I'm.
It's very nice, like very nice hat.
It's a very nice.
It's a running hat, like
it's a very nice hat. Good quality. Nice work on that, right? Because a lot of times people can sell stuff for charity, and you're kind of like, I don't actually want that.
I don't want to wear this,
but I'm going to buy it because I want
easily worth $50.
Yeah, it's a great hat. And just what you're doing with it, and just what I've seen. I think just even the shifts that I've seen you made really over the last couple years, it's been really just kind of incredible to watch. I feel like God, I can look at the same thing in my life that God has shifted so many things in me in the last couple of years, but I've seen it with you too, where it's like, I feel like you have so much more purpose. You know what I mean? Like every day you wake up it becomes more purposeful. And I think that's really what drives us. And I just want to share. So this is a really cool story with James. So at the end of 2025, went through a lot, starting a business, a lot of challenges, a lot of trials.
You guys.
Yeah, we have. Yeah. And I mean, personally, but it was, God was just be like more with less. And so here, James Rogers over here all of a sudden texts me. He's like, hey, I'm going to do a book club, like the first Monday of every week in January. And I'm like, okay, I'm in. I don't even know what the book is. You probably sent it to me, but I'm just like, because I'm like, yeah, all right, James is awesome. I'm like, I'm in. And so it's this book, Essentialism. And I kid you not, in the first chapter, it says those exact words of
less but better.
Yeah, it was like more. Do more with less. Mm-hmm. And it was like this language behind really what God was showing me. And I think it actually made me just make some kind of like tougher decisions too, as far as like, okay, hey, I'm gonna just do this. I've been like way more decisive in just making decisions. I think some that scare Stephen and some that are good.
Stretches my faith.
Yes.
Builds my faith, stretches my faith at times, but it's good.
But I kind of just too, I want to ask you, because I know that book also had a big impact on your life, and I just kind of wanted you to share a little bit about, because I saw you actually make a major shift in your business,
Yeah.
and not knowing that the root of that actually came from that book, right? Because you read that book like a year
I
earlier.
read it at the beginning of 2024, and I think I read it immediately another 3 times. Like right, because I was like, this is helping me so much. I mean, the main thing. No, I could talk about that book for 2 hours, but just even the word essentialism, like to boil things down to what is essential, what matters most,
pinpoint,
and how much of my energy and resources am I actually giving to what matters most? Because you can just all of a sudden look up and discover and realize that you're doing so many different things, working towards so many different ends that you didn't even choose yourself.
Well, and to add on that is like, am I the one who should even be doing it?
Absolutely.
Right? Because then a lot of times, especially as great builders, then we think we're the ones who are supposed to be doing that. But true, genuine builders build to let go and let other people then come in. Like, hey, building something that will outlast me is building something not just for me to take care of or manage or to have. I was like, but to build something to leave a legacy, if you will, is like the wording. Right? I'm like, okay, hey, we built this. This is great. It's awesome. But it's right now is like, and still, even with what we're doing, I'm like, it's been a joy, but the building of it without a purpose of like, how can I build this to be sustained without me being there all the time? You know, I was like, that's something that I think about, like the, be a good neighbor, the legacy side of the realty business, like all these different angles that you're growing your side personally and people around you, which drives more. I mean, again, like money comes, money goes. What's been that? I mean, that's been a big part for. I mean, to learn that what you said earlier was like to not let money, the love of money, right? I was like, and it's a different thing. Like I love to make money, but I don't love money. There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Like I love making money.
Absolutely.
But I don't look at money as my God.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, because that slight shift of all of a sudden you're looking at it and saying like, well, that's kind of people say all sorts of things. I'm like, well, that's your prerogative. I was like, but honestly, I was like, I've learned that life is a lot easier, and I can also impact the kingdom of heaven when I have more resources.
Yeah.
And resources at the end of the day is money here on earth. But the love, it's like when it says, when you put anything before me as a God, and unintentionally, a lot of men or people or business leaders or leaders in general get into this mind frame where they think, I just got to make more in order to finally find a fulfillment of life, right? I was like, but it's not in like having more that we find more fulfillment. It's understanding who we are. And then coming back all the way circle here is, what is the most important thing to you?
Well, one thought real quick on money. We have so many awesome mottos in KW, and one of them is that money is good for the good it can do. So it is actually amoral. It's just a thing. It's a tool.
Right.
But it is a reflection of bringing value into the world. So someone else doesn't have less because you have more. There can be however much we need, but it is good for the good it can do. And so, what was your question?
Yeah, just like, so it's kind of going back to is like, what is, like, because again, we got a lot of different points here. I guess what I'm really aiming at is like, what is the most important thing to you as, and you've learned a lot.
What is essential?
But what is most important to you? Like now learning what you've learned, looking at all of that, but now forecasting forward, what is the most important thing to James Rogers in the next 10 years?
Oh man, what a question!
Thank you.
I may need the day to process that. Off the top of my head, man, I guess simply to be faithful to what God's asking me to do. To be willing to pour myself out for what He wants to accomplish through this life, and it's never like, you're something me and Jenny, my wife, have been saying recently since we've been on this India escapade, just adventure. we find ourselves being a part of just the wildest things and feeling like, is this real life? Like, are we actually doing this? And the like, this is her analogy. She mentions being a part of what God is doing is like when your kids come to help you bring in the groceries, and you've got like 20 bags of groceries, and you give them the bag of bread, and they're like, I'm bringing in the groceries. And so that's kind of our analogy, is like we, no matter how amazing whatever you're doing is, like you're just bringing in your little bag of groceries. And so I just want to, I guess at the end of my life, feel like I did that wholeheartedly, didn't take myself too seriously, and I valued the people I'm face to face with daily the most,
Do you feel like you're learning to have fun again?
Yes and no. Like the more I think you give yourself to what God's calling you to, the more responsibility you find, and the more people, responsibility. I wouldn't label it as fun. I would label it as fulfilling, for sure. I think the pursuit of fun or pursuit of happiness, like it's so you get there pretty quickly and it's unfulfilling. But to me, purpose, responsibility, meaning, like that's really where it's at. That being said, not taking yourself too seriously and just being wholehearted and like trusting God to be responsible at the end of the day. That's way more fun than just deciding to double down and I'm gonna crush life and
look at all these things, look at my accolades. I'm like, oh, cool. Those will look shiny now, but they also disappear.
And also, just thinking about fun, life is so amazing with kids.
Yeah.
Like,
that's
I think about fun,
itself.
and I think about just all these silly, hilarious kids running around with their hilarious questions and making you do embarrassing things, and like life is just better.
Yeah,
that's my main source of fun. I feel like
you get a lot of joy. I mean, children are joy. They're joy. They really are.
It's even finding the moment of getting the kids out of the door and the chaos that can ensue. Because I have four younger kids. James 5, but it's like, I think I probably stop and look at those moments now, and I'm just thankful for this. Even though I feel like that last 10 minutes was absolutely just craziness, and like, you guys are stuck. Why don't you have your shoes on yet? It's like all of these things that like go on when you have like that many kids, where you're just like there, and then like, then they're playing awesome with each other in one moment, and then they're like at each other's throat the next moment, and it's like, but I think just learning to like, just the thankfulness, like even in those moments, I don't know, I just see it kind of shift those moments a lot of times when I can just like, I think the old me used to have a tendency to add in, I would actually add to the chaos without realizing it. Right? By trying to stop it in a way that's like more of like controlling instead of just like
a little bit of go with the flow, or just have gratitude.
Yeah, just have gratitude. So it was funny. So even just Corbin, like he's my youngest, he's 6, about to turn 7. But, I need to get his clothes on and stuff like this. And it was like, he's just like 2 steps down the stairs and he's like, I want to go get this toy. And I was like, that's awesome, buddy. And I was just like, because I knew, and I was like, well, we're gonna get our clothes on. No. And I was just like, all right, buddy, it's going to be really cool, actually. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out my phone. We're going to set a timer. I'm like, let's see how quickly we can get your clothes on, brush your teeth, and get your hair taken care of, buddy. Let's see. I'll let you hit the button. And it turned into something different, rather than all of a sudden it was like set up for like a power struggle. It actually turned into something that went, and man, we did it in under 2 minutes. I know you're supposed to brush your teeth for 2 minutes, but we did like a minute, okay? Like we were on a time clock.
Small wins.
But it was like, it's just every moment that we can, and even in life and even in business, because I can, like, if I'm in a rush sometimes, I can communicate things quickly, and it just can seem like kind of harsh. Right, where it's like not meant to be harsh, but not everybody takes the time to like stop and think of like, is that Mitch's nature? You know what I mean? Like for all the time I spend with Mitch, is that
Well, we naturally revert back. That's the thing. It's like, and that's, we talk about that all the time. Like, when you explain the what, it's good, but understanding the why and the how is more important. Like, the why, explaining the why to any what, and then how we say what we say matters just as much.
Yeah.
What's good, but why is this information need to be said? And then how am I conveying this? Because when we say anything, like it can be conveyed in like a way that's dictatorship, or this area that says like, I just know best for you, you just need to listen to me, or this, it's like, but when it's like, hey, like the reason, and giving him reason, right? And what does all that come back down to is it's like slowing down.
It's
right?
slowing down. It's slowing down.
Slowing down.
Yeah.
It's literally, I'm like, guys, Jesus walked slowly through the crowds. And I was like, I love to visualize that all the time. Because I'm like, that's what he did. Like, he just walked slowly. I mean,
and you probably have lots of those moments. Share one with us, man.
Just a good realization for me is in business and controlling your work, you can get so dang efficient and effective all day long, and then you go home and the kids are inefficient. Like, they are completely and utterly inefficient. They're just trying to have fun. They're just doing the first thing on the top of their head. And if you go from high efficiency world to like zero efficiency world, like it can be so disarming and like you're just like, what's going on? So you have to let go all that. Like, we're not going to be efficient here. We're going to love each other and go slow. And that is hard for me. That's hard to change the pace. It's hard. I have to have some like real strong guidelines. Resets, like some practices and habits that help me like mentally just, I'm changing pace now.
Yeah, rhythms.
Put on a different hat and changing the pace.
That's right. And that's important. That's a big maturity side, is like understanding that there's different rhythms of like the day and the life and the things that are going on. It's like, just like right now in a way, like our phones are silenced, but that's an intentional choice so that we can all stay connected here.
Yeah, and it's important, and it's a valuable part of life to not always be producing something and accomplishing something, and to be in low efficiency mode, like just being.
It's the past, like, so this was 2-3 days ago. So we're in the middle of like getting our house ready to sell. Business is always stuff going on, things, and the Lord just was like telling me, Stephen, just rest. And so I opened up the Bible, kicked my feet up, put it on the table, and did absolutely nothing. Read the Bible for maybe 30 minutes. Went home, and then my wife, I knew she was already going to have a huge list of things to do. So I went in there, like, hey, just want to let you know the Lord told me to rest. And she wasn't super like, well, yeah. So I was like, look.
I'll tell you what the Lord said.
I was like, if you're going to be that mad, then pick it up with him. I was like, you know me. You know the kind of person that I am. I was like, I know there's things to do. But at the same time, I was like, the beauty of understanding that God is working even when we are not, right? And so the more we can understand that it's like the second book. So Essentialism was a great book, and I've listened to it a couple times. And now going into the book Effortless, that's another great book by Craig McCowan, is his name?
Oh, okay. All right, great.
So
I'm gonna
grab a really good book, and it even talks about like these couple things. So it's like the rest side, which is understanding from a place of rest. We have to. Top athletes, they understand if they don't go rest, they're not going to perform at their best. Now, again, it's not about performance, but at the same time, in a way, we are going to be getting up. We're going to get going. There's going to be more things that we got to do. We got to have the proper rest. We're going to be doing things, but it's out of go deeper into that, but I'm not going to.
Love it.
The point that I really wanted to bring up from that book was that the practice that I just mentioned to you the other day was saying, like, okay, for me, there can be so many things sometimes going on that I can catch myself complaining when I have absolutely zero reason to complain about anything. I have a beautiful family, a wonderful life. I got food on the table, and everyone's healthy, serve a living God, all these things. So instead of being, it's just rewiring this thing here that when I would go and be like, this coffee's not to my liking, but I'm so thankful to have a warm cup of coffee. So what am I doing? I'm training this piece here to say, like, yes, this isn't maybe 100% what I love, but reprogramming to always give thanks. And then eventually, man, I'm so thankful for a cup of coffee. That's all I'm going to think about. You know, I was like, it's this same thing for our kids, for our family. Like, and so I have this challenge with me and my wife right now. It's saying, like, hey, you catch me, I'll catch you anytime we're in a moment of complaining. And if we complain, okay. I'm not like, oh, you're complaining, don't complain. No. Hey, you're complaining, now you got to say something you're grateful for, which has been fun.
Very cool.
That'll help you expect good things out of bad things, you know, like, and yeah, I've been that way in my life for quite a while. It's like a bad thing happens and I'm like, man, it's a blessing right around the corner. You know, I actually just got hit, you know, you guys know, I just got hit by a semi truck on Friday. So with all the kids in the car, right? And it's just kind of like,
I was on the phone with him, dude.
We're okay. Well, yeah, Steven was on the phone with me when he all of a sudden hears like boom, and then he hears, you know,
I was like, oh,
I had 4 of my kids in the car, you know, Kaylee, and then 3 of my younger kids, and you know.
By the way, the coffee is great.
Yes. Yeah, just Philip's coffee. Thanks, Philip. But you know, just kind of go through that and just be like, you know what, like even right away, just be like, man, I'm just thankful, and even just. You know, I think the core of who you are, it's like it's tested in moments like that. So it's even like the guy that hit me, you know, and to just actually be able to go him right in the middle of the moment where somebody just crashed into me, you know, it was his fault with my kids in the car, and just to look at him and be like, you made a mistake, man, it's okay.
I could see you like running up to him and like hugging him and be like, dude, you okay?
Yeah, just be like,
he hit you,
you
right?
are the person that you hope is on the other side of a car accident.
For
like,
real,
you
right?
are the guy.
Yeah, where I was just like, man, people make mistakes. Like, it's okay. You know, like, hey, you just kind of see life that way. And, I mean, it's a bummer for him because, you know, it's going to cost his, you know, insurance and stuff like that. And again, at the time, the guy did something stupid that
did he
shouldn't have been doing.
I mean, curious, was he like, hey, man, I'm sorry? Did he bring up, like, or was he just not too sure what happened
he was
really either?
Pretty, like... You know, I think because, you know, that truck had the tinted windows, which I made a joke about because I was like, hey, guys, we got to get the tint off these windows. You know, we bought it used, and it was like a really dark tint. So I was like, sent that photo the other day with like glass busted out, and I'm like, hey, guys, I got that tint taken down. But if we look at it, right, yeah, I mean, I think that guy was just in shock, you know, to kind of answer your question. I mean, he saw a bunch of kids piling out, you know, and he was probably just like, oh, my God, like, there's all these kids in here, you know, and but you know, my sales guys are both, you know, one truck, it was in my personal name, and now I'm getting paid for that truck. I ended up buying 2 new trucks under the business, and you know, so everything that it'll turn into a blessing. You know what I mean? And it's a blessing for my sales guys because honestly, like, there's no way they would both have a truck right now if that didn't happen. Because I was giving that to one of my other sales guys was just going to use his vehicle, and it just so happened that, you know, the guy I get my trucks from, he had 2 2025 blue Ford Maverick, you know, the color blue. Like, we need a specific blue, and they had 2 in stock at a really good price because they were 2025s, you know, and 2026 just rolled around. And, you know, I just kind of felt like just get them both.
Yeah, so this is what I talk about, the stretching moments.
Yeah,
and
these
I'm
are
like,
the moments that stretch.
Let me look at these numbers. And he's like, nah, don't worry about numbers. I'm like, oh, God.
Me and Steven's wife said the exact same thing. I was like, what are you believing for?
Yeah, it's really annoying when they like, I get it like, on both sides. And I'm like, all right, guys, I get it. Okay, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, but what does it do, right?
Yeah,
Like,
you and my wife do that.
It's belief,
Yeah.
and it's belief. It's true faith and trust in the Lord, right? Like, because again, and that's really what faith is. Faith, you know, summarize. What is faith? You know, we've been doing this. Our pastor calls them 8-week sprints. Right now, we're really focusing on what is faith and love. I mean, it's all rooted in love. But it's like, man, really, like, do you trust your Father with all of His goodness and the plans for you? Now, again, there's planning that we're doing, we're not just being out here throwing things into the wind and hoping that things are like, we're being strategical and methodical and thinking through things, but eventually it doesn't matter how methodical or strategic or whatever, you got to be led by the Spirit of God in certain moments. You're just like, okay. And like, even for him, he's like, okay. And I was in the middle of it, I'm like, look, I feel a peace about one. I know we need to get one. We just crashed one. We got to get one. We got to replace it. That second one was like that. Give me a second. I need to pray. Just give me a second here. And then literally just driving home, like I figured, I was like, hey, in the morning, I'm sure I'll have some sort of answer. And if not, we're just going to make a faith action and say yes. Because the other times you got to do that.
I don't even think I gave him till the morning.
No, well, it was literally so.
But we called. We had a group discussion with my wife, his wife.
Oh, so I'm driving home, and I just see trust in the Lord, like in Isaiah 40:31, and that reminder of like, Stephen, you can either try to process things in your own ways, or you can just keep trusting me. And the better part is always just trust in Him.
All right. Well, James. One more thought, James.
James.
I know James. I said
named after my
James. Are you?
Yeah.
See, that's why that came up. Any last thought, comment, or anything? Because we're wrapping up on time here. So just any.
I think just to bring it back to one of your earlier questions, I just love talking with other young, hardworking guys trying to do what matters most, and I think it's just awesome. It's been life-changing for me over the last couple of years to just stop and really take into account what am I doing and why.
Yeah.
And not just succeeding for the sake of success sake or what someone else labels as success and what someone else is going to praise, but like, man, the people that I care about their opinion the most are my wife and my kids and some good friends who don't care how successful my business is. And am I impressing those people, or am I impressing some random someone who's looking at sales metrics? I'm gonna
leave you with this one, which is, I consider wealth presence of people, presence of the Lord, most important, but presence. I mean, that's the greatest wealth.
Is that people actually want to be around you because of you?
Yeah.
You know,
it's presence.
Not because of because you think about so many people that have so much money, and so many people want to be around them because
of what they may be able to get
that they have.
Yeah.
You know, where it's like having people around because they want to be around because they value. You know, and I consider you're one of those friends to me where I'm just like, we probably grab a lunch like once every like month or two. But I know still is like the core of like the people, the core of the people.
We can change that. You said that. We'll change that.
But the core of people, you know what I mean? Like, and just the value that I place on our relationship is just very high because of the kind of guy that you are, the kind of father. So it was an honor. Like, just thank you so much for taking time to come and do this podcast. I know you're a busy guy.
Yeah.
But I really appreciate your time and just sharing. So.
If you're looking for a great realtor, this guy.
Yeah, if you're looking for a great realtor.
He's a real estate agent. This guy knows what he's doing, and
James
loves people.
Yeah. All right, so that'll wrap it up for this episode of Kingdom Business Conversations, where learners are leaders.
That was close.
Where leaders are always learning.